Life moves really fast, and it feels like it's just getting faster and faster, way faster than it needs to. And I always feel like if I'm not rushing, then I'm falling behind. If I'm not achieving the same or kind of more than the people around me, that I sort of don't matter. You know, I'm always trying to do more, be more productive, achieve more, and that is exhausting. I try to get out as much as possible and spend as much time in nature as I can. And when I'm out there, I am always reminded that nature doesn't chase growth. You look at the trees around you and where they're at in their growth cycle, and they're not rushing around trying to compete with one another. They just grow. Everything out there works within its own time frame. And I think that's one of the first things that made me want to grow my own food. It wasn't to save money or to try to become self-sufficient, and it wasn't even the awareness that lots of our food is loaded up with poisons. It was really to help teach me or take me back in time to remember how to feel what living more slowly feels like, or really what living and moving at a pace that's in sync with the earth feels like. I mean, it's hardly glamorous, is it? But it is just an excellent feeling. You know, there's just something really grounding about it, quite literally. The kind of small rituals, getting dirt under your nails, and that quiet time spent outside where there are kind of no distractions. It's just you and the outdoors. No buzzing notifications and no noise. It's just peace. And when you take something like a seed, it has all of this potential just locked away, but you wouldn't know it at a glance, and you can't rush a seed. The seed doesn't sort of spend its time distracted, trying to rush through its own process. It can only go as quickly as it can go. And you know, for us, providing that care for a seed, you just show up. You know, you provide the seed a little home, you water it, and you just hope that the weather is kind. I feel like I'm finally learning that growth just doesn't always look the way that we think it will. It's so easy to fall into this trap of comparison, seeing these perfectly curated lives and looking at our own and kind of questioning maybe why it doesn't look the same way. And when you're surrounded by what feels like people constantly evolving and developing on their lives and bettering themselves, it makes it much harder to look at our own lives and feel fulfillment. And I think for me, it's remembering that growth takes its time, and sometimes nothing happens for weeks. And then one day, all of a sudden, as if by magic, it's like everything changes. That tiny seed that you've planted has finally broken the soil. So I suppose it's teaching me patience and to trust time and to try to stop comparing my growth to the growth of other people, you know, my pace, my speed to that of other people. And I'm learning that care changes things. Not instantly by any stretch, but always.
Absolutely. They're amazing.
I've never grown mushrooms before. It's something I've always wanted to try, but I've just never really given it the time. So I bought this grow your own mushroom kit a couple of weeks ago, and I thought I would give it a go today just to see whether or not it's a real thing or kind of see what comes out of it. Fungi in general are just one of the most fascinating aspects of living on the planet. they're just this crazy organism that's almost a bit alien-like. And they have this fantastic kind of communication structure that we just don't even think about when we're going about our day-to-day life. There's something incredibly advanced about it, something sort of futuristic, otherworldly, really. When you grow something yourself, you start to become more aware and more perceptive. Things like when it rains, the smell of rain hitting soil, the smell of something that is nutrient dense and absolutely teeming with life, the smell of that as it sort of is becoming enriched, how light moves across a leaf, and the different shades of green that you might notice. And even when you're out in the garden and it's a cold day, maybe what it feels like when the sun comes out briefly and it just warms the back of your neck slightly. When I started trying to grow plants and my own food, I didn't even really have use of a garden space at all. Even just having a small corner, a windowsill is enough to get started. You just kind of need a plant or, some seeds and a bit of patience. Doing something like that is going to help remind you of what patience feels like and how rewarding that can be. And maybe what it feels like to be aware and to move with the seasons. But almost certainly that those small gestures of care can yield huge positive results. And so maybe that's why I keep doing it. That's why I want to keep learning. That's why I want to keep growing my own food and my own plants to, in a weird roundabout way, remind myself that I can grow. And even when I feel like I'm stuck chasing that growth in this fast-paced, chaotic world, or even if I'm kind of at a standstill, that if I provide myself some care, even if I get the conditions wrong, maybe I have a chance at growing as well.